Hello students, I am Sanat KB from Department of Physics of RBNB College, Shrampur. This is my second lecture on the topic number 15, the structure of atoms and nuclei. For the subject physics, for the class 12th science. In previous lecture, we saw about that article number 15.6, Bohr's atomic model. In that article, already we saw about the three postulates of Bohr's theory. That is postulate number 1, postulate number 2, postulate number 3. We also again see in that lecture obtain the expression for radius of nth Bohr's orbit, and we obtain that expression for a radius of nth Bohr's orbit Rn is equal to epsilon 0, that h square n square divided by that pi mz e square, pi mz e square. Already we obtained that equation for nth Bohr's orbit. Now here epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space, h is the Planck's constant, and this n is the principal quantum number, which value comes to be 1, 2, 3 and so on. M is the mass of that electron, Z is the atomic number, and E is the charge on that atom. Now today we are going to new article, that is 15.6.2, energy of the Bohr's atom. Now when this electron revolve in circular orbit around the nucleus of an atom. Now here we have to find what is the energy of that electron which is revolving in a circular orbit of an atom. And now that total energy of that revolving electron in that orbit is the sum of kinetic energy and electrostatic potential energy of that electron, and therefore we write that energy of that nth Bohr's orbit of that atom is equal to that kinetic energy plus potential energy. This is equation number 1. Now here we have to find what is kinetic energy and what is potential energy. Now here consider that Bohr's postulate. According to Bohr's first postulate, an electron revolve in circular orbit round the nucleus. The sufficient centrifugal force is provided by electrostatic force of attraction, between positively charged nucleus and negatively charged electron. This is Bohr's first postulate. Mathematically, we write that centripetal force, that mv square divided by Rn, radius of that nth orbit, is equal to that electrostatic force, that is a 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0, that Ze square divided by that radius, that will be R square is there here. Now we modify this equation as that 1/2 mv square. Now this Rn cancels with this square, then 1/2 is there, that 8 pi epsilon 0 Ze square divided by Rn, radius of nth orbit. What is this one? This is the kinetic energy. This kinetic energy is equal to 1 upon 8 pi epsilon 0 Ze square divided by Rn. This is equation number A. Similarly, we can obtain the potential energy. That potential into that charge, that is, potential will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0, that E into Rn into this minus E, means that Z with the atomic number, that will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Ze square, total sign will be here minus Ze square divided by that Rn. This is the potential energy. This is equation number B. In this way, easily we can obtain the values of kinetic energy and potential energy. Put these values in equation 1. Therefore, here putting the values of that kinetic energy and potential energy from equations A and B in equation 1 we get. Now here put these values in that equation 1, then energy of that nth orbit is equal to value of that kinetic energy 1 upon 8 pi epsilon 0, that Ze square divided by Rn, this value, then plus, then that value will be minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Ze square divided by that Rn. Plus minus get minus. Now taking the common terms outside the bracket, Ze square, their minus sign we can write after that one, divided by that 4 pi epsilon 0 Rn. 4 pi epsilon 0 Rn. What is remaining in bracket? There will be that 1/2, then sign will be -1. This value is remaining, taking common term this one, take outside the bracket here, then 1/2 -1 get the -1/2, then that term will be minus z e square divided by that 1/2, that will be 8 pi epsilon 0 Rn. This is the value of En. This is equation 2 here. Understand up to here? Now put the value of this Rn. Already we obtained in previous lecture in this equation 2. Therefore we write, but that value of radius of both nth orbit is given by that epsilon 0 h square, that n square divided by phi mz e square. Okay, put this value in this equation. Therefore En is equal to minus sign is there, z e square. Now here write directly that denominator at a numerator and this term is a denominator, then into this term that phi mz e square divided by this term, that is a 8 phi epsilon 0 into this epsilon 0 h square n square here. Okay, now cancel this pi with this one, then we write this En is equals to minus this mz e raised to 4, this e square e raised to 4 divided by this term 8, that will epsilon 0 square, that h square and then n square. Now this is expression for energy of the atoms. Now here m be the mass of that electron. Now E be the charge on electron, epsilon 0 permittivity, H is a Planck's constant, and N is the number of orbit, that principal quantum number. Now this is equation number 3 here. Now here we can again modify this equation as this mass, that atomic number Z, charge on electron E, this epsilon 0 and this H. These terms are constant. Therefore this value, write that minus mz e raised to 4 divided by that 8 epsilon 0 square h square in bracket is equals to constant. Means this term is constant here. See this value. This term is constant, and therefore we write this energy En is inversely proportional to n square. This is equation number 4. Hence energy of the atom here for nth orbit is inversely proportional to square of principal quantum number. That is, En is directly proportional to 1 upon n square. In this way, we can easily obtain the expression for energy of the atoms, and that expression gives this equation number 3. Now, if these terms that m, z, e, epsilon, h are constant, means this bracket, value of this bracket is a constant, we can write En is directly proportional to 1 upon epsilon 0. Now, in this way, we can finish this small article, energy of the atoms. Okay. Now, we can take the next article. Now, here we get that expression for energy of an atom, or energy for nth orbit. Now, here putting that values of that atomic number, Z is equal to 1 and N is equal to 1. That is the first orbit. Again, put the value of that mass of electron, then charge epsilon 0, and then H. We get that value of E1 for first orbit is equal to that minus 13.6 eV, electron volt. This is the energy of first orbit. Now, this is the minimum energy. This is minimum energy. This minimum energy is called the ground state. Is ground state of that atoms. Means we have to free the electron from that first orbit of that H atom. We required energy is equal to plus 13.6 eV. When this energy is given to that atom plus value of that one, we get that electron is free from that first orbit. This is the minimum energy of that ground state here. Now, again we get that higher value of energy, higher value, that higher value of energy. This is a lower or minimum energy of that ground state, and next one is the value of that energy is higher. That higher value of energy is called excitation energy, is called excited state, is called excited state of atom. This is about the minimum energy and higher energy, and we continue that next article. From this topic is the energy level of hydrogen atom. Next article is energy level of hydrogen atom, that energy in electron volts. Now here in similar manner we get the values of energy, that is energy of that second orbit that n is equal to 2, that z is equal to 1, that energy E2 is equal to minus 3.4 eV. Then E3 is equal to that minus 1.5 eV. In this way we can find up to that energy of that higher orbit E infinity, and that values comes to be 0. From these values we can draw the energy level diagram of hydrogen atom here. Now we draw this energy level diagram here. Now this one is a E1 and this value is a n is equal to 1 here. Now then when we are going to upward direction, that energy of orbit decreases. This is the second orbit, then third orbit, then fourth, then fifth, and so on. This is n is equal to 2, here n is equal to 3, 4, 5, then n is equal to that infinity. Here energy will be for E1 is already we obtained that minus 13.6 eV. This is minus 3.4 eV. This E3 is equal to that minus 1.5 eV, and so on, that energy of that E infinity outer orbit, that values comes to be 0. Now we draw the energy level diagram here. Now transition of electron is like this one. N is equal to n is equal to 1. Then next one like this one. Transition of electrons. Electrons jumps from this outer orbit to inner orbit, and now this series is known as Lehman series, and which is observed in ultraviolet region. This series is observed in ultraviolet region. Now here second series, then like that one, that will be Balmer series. That will be in a visible region. It can be observed. Then next one is then Paschen series. That will be observed in a infrared region. Infrared region, and so on. That Lehman series, Balmer series, Paschen series, Brackett series, Pfund series, and so on. In this way we can draw this energy level diagram for that hydrogen atom. Now we take that two definition: excitation energy and ionization energy. The energy required to take an electron from ground state to excited state, that energy required, transition of electron from that ground state to excited state, that energy required is called that excitation energy. Excitation energy. And another concept is ionization energy, that minimum amount of energy required to electron from ground state to or energy required to free that electron from that ground state to that free electron, that energy required to free of an electron from ground state, that is called the ionization energy or binding energy. Energy required to free electron from that ground state, that is called the ionization energy or binding energy. Means we have to give amount of energy for this electron of this second orbit, that will be plus 3.4 eV is given to energy that atom, then that can be free from that orbit, that electron can free from that orbit, that is called the ionization energy. Okay, in this way we explain here that energy level diagram for hydrogen atom. Now here we get that Bohr's third postulate. Third postulate, what is the statement? It states that electron jumps from higher energy orbit to inner energy orbit, that is outer orbit to inner orbit. At that time it radiates energy is equal to that energy of photon. And now that radiated energy E is equal to the difference between that two energies, that will be difference between two energies, that is higher energy minus lower energy, this Em minus En, where here energy of this mth orbit is greater than energy of that inner orbit or that nth orbit. Then we get the third postulate, and now that value of that energy is equal to that h mu is equal to energy of that mth orbit minus energy of this nth orbit. Okay, now here we write that values of energies already we obtained, that will be, we directly write that minus values after calculation, that value will be minus mz e raised to 4. Now here after interchanging positions, that 8 epsilon zeros, that h square, then in that bracket write 1 upon En minus 1 upon Em. How that value comes here? that putting the values of energies, that n and m will be write that this is a n square and this is a m square. Now here putting the value of em and en, energy of nth orbit, energy of mth orbit. Now taking the constant term outside the bracket, we get this equation, and now this value will be h mu. Here h is the Planck constant, mu be the frequency, and now we write this value of that relation we get, that C is equal to mu lambda, or that lambda is equal to that C upon this mu, and now 1 upon lambda we get the wave number, and that term will be mu divided by C. Means here we write that instead of h mu, here value of mu is C upon lambda, that is hc divided by lambda is equal to this term. See here is a simple calculation is there, that is the hc, value of mu is hc here. From that one, this equation, that value of mu will be that C upon lambda, that C upon lambda is here. Okay, and now this equation is as it is, that is mz e raised to 4 divided by 8 epsilon 0 h square, in that bracket 1 upon n square minus 1 upon m square. Okay, now we write here that expression again here for suitable understanding. That equation becomes that 1 upon lambda here, that is equals to that mz e raised to 4, this term, this hc is there, divided by 8 epsilon 0 square is there, that h square is there, epsilon 0 square is there, h square is there, then that hc means that h square into that 1h, h cube, this c is the velocity of light in air, that is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, and then in bracket we write that value 1 upon n square minus 1 upon n square. This m with the outer orbit, this is a inner orbit. Now here we write this wave number 1 upon lambda is equal to this, taking value of this term is r, which is known as Rydberg's constant, and then in bracket 1 upon n square minus 1 upon m square, and now this equation is that Rydberg's formula. Rydberg's formula, and now this value of r, that is Rydberg's constant, that will be 1.097 into 10 raised to 7 meter inverse, that is the Rayberg's constant. Value of Rayberg's constant is 1.97 into 10 raised to 7 meter inverse. That is the value of Rayberg's constant. Now here that value will be calculating from this formula, that mass of electron, atomic number, charge on electron, epsilon 0 permittivity, H with the Planck's constant, and C with the velocity of light. Putting this value in this formula, we get the value of R, that is the Rayberg's constant. And now 1 upon lambda get the wave number is equal to R into 1 upon n square minus 1 upon m square. This is known as Rayberg's formula. In this way, we completed these small two articles, that is energy of the atoms and energy level of hydrogen atom, and what is Rayberg's formula. Okay, now we can stop here.